Good morning, everyone. I will just take a couple of minutes, and first of all, I need to know about the inconvenience caused to you this morning. So we have arranged for Innova, and now on, Innova starts with ferry you to the hotel. This is one thing. Another is on 28th. I have requested all our university officials, they will interact with you, join you at lunch, and as a kind of send-off. We are again sorry for that. They did not meet you again, they wanted to, but because of these firefighting on the campus, we could not get time, but we have requested them. So all of them, Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Finance Officer, yes, and a group photo. Group photo, what I would suggest, Vice Chancellor Saab has promised to engage you because he has been the Vice Chancellor also of our university, and he is presently our Vice Chancellor. So at 9 to 10:30 we will engage you. When the session is over, just outside the building, we can have the group photo, or we will have it in the hotel, and we have got our university calendar diary that also we will distribute. That is one point. Next point is that PA bills. Please, now the internet is back. This retrieve your tickets or whatever. Please fill up that PA bills. Why I am requesting you? Last time we had this bitter experience just because of clerical insistence. If one signature is missing, the entire bill is not processed, and that is to be sent to you again by speed post. Then it comes back. Time factor is there. So there are two PA bills. One is for your journey from your hometown to here, and the other is for visa purposes. Another PA bill is there, including. So please cooperate with us, return us to that. As far as PA rates are there, you are entitled to air travel. You are entitled to AC first train. Only problem comes up with taxi. Taxi, what is the problem? Taxi, our own car. The GFR rules are it should not be 400 km per way, one way. So if it exceeds that, then there is this problem. And the other point is that it should be in the range of 12 rupees, 14 rupees. Of course, in Delhi, I know it is 16, 18 the taxi rates. But because ours is a small town, B-class town, so our rates are 12. But if you pay 14, there is no problem with that, but I just quoted the rule position. But my main request to you is, Mr. Muzammil is sitting just behind you. He will distribute to you the two PA forms. Please fill these up and return these to us so that we start the processing. As far as now the next point is your medical insurance. He has already collected your papers. He is on his way. 10 days medical insurance from 14th of February to 25th of February for 1 lakh Australian dollar, US dollar. That medical insurance will be available to you, and of course we will pay the insurance fee, and God forbid none of us may need that. Next point is visa. Now there is some good news that some of you have got visa online. So this is again a matter of choice. You do it online, or if you want to go to Delhi, again most welcome. So if you are going to Delhi, another PA sits in the car. As soon as you get the visa, please book your tickets by Air India on the dates and flights which we have already informed you. And I think in next week we will be in a position to decide on the amount, whether it is, we are thinking of around 1 lakh rupees, but it depends upon the payment to Monash. That's our priority. First we are sending the money to foreign university, and if funds are available, then we will transfer 1 lakh rupees or at least 70, 80 rupees to account of each one of you. Okay? It will be advance money towards your travel expenses, and when you finish the journey, then you send us the boarding pass, and then the balance amount will be reimbursed. So this is what some of the administrative points are here, which I wanted to share with you. And once again, I take this opportunity to thank Professor Yogesh. Not only is he just a wonderful resource person, he was just telling me the fascinating idea of having dinner together so as to infuse and attain more bonding among you. So that's one of the, but these are what the management rules are. Yes, any administrative matter, please? Yes.
We traveled 3 persons from Delhi to here.
Pardon?
We traveled 3 persons from Delhi to here.
Okay.
And before traveling, we called here to government also, and I think
Yes.
some other person also. We paid 16 rupees per kilometer.
Okay, fine. As I said, I have to tell you the rule position, but I know that for Delhi and other places, if the rates are higher, we will of course allow that. But I have to tell the rule position. Yes.
Yesterday we paid the VFS in Australian dollar amount.
Okay.
So how we convert to those things? Then we ask them conversion rates and so that we can give our bill.
Yes. तो इंटरनेट से देख लें कल ऑस्ट्रेलियन डॉलर का जो रेट था
वीजा प्रोफार्मा में आ जाएगा वीजा फी जो भी
वी आर गिविंग यू दैट वन प्रोफार्मा फॉर योर वीजा ट्रैवल and there is one column is there for visa fee. There you mentioned that, and it's very easy nowadays. With internet you can see on that particular day on 23rd December what was the conversion rate. We will see
whatever amount in Indian rupees has been debited for this year.
And just one last thing. One last thing, we are circulating one more pro forma, getting your signature in advance for your travel, your clearance allowance. Yes, sorry, just one last point. We are taking a pre-receipt from each one of you, and that's again HRD rates. During your 8 days stay in Australia, each one of you will get $25, and that again will be equivalent to Indian rupees. So we have worked out that, and we will be
Can you give an option to get an Australian currency?
Pardon?
Can you get an option to give it in Australian currency?
In this age of Visa credit cards, you hardly need currency. Your card, we can give it only in the your bill. We will reimburse you.
US dollar
25. This is 25 US dollars. This is 25 US dollars. Not the Australian. Australian are less than slightly less than Australian. 25 Australian dollars. 25 US dollars.
Because hotel, food, lodging,
Everything is there. They are just incidental expenses. Yes. This is what we did last time. Okay, I won't be. Yes, yes.
The 3 persons are leaving on 30th of December and will be staying in one of the hotels.
Fine.
And the charges are about 5,000 to 6,000 per day. Is it okay?
Fine. Okay. As long as the bill is there.
Yes, bill will be there.
Yes.
That is
Okay. So once again, thank you very much, and on your behalf, thank you. Okay. Thank you very much.
सर सर ले लो
Okay. Very good morning to all of you. Good morning. I hope all the ripples are now settled and we are in calm waters.
We are in calm water and we are
Okay.
in calm water.
Okay, very nice.
Your mic connected to this place.
Are you getting? Anyway, I'll just one. So I just have a few remarks to make before we continue. And for the benefit of everyone, I think we have a full house today.
Yes.
Everyone is here. So welcome everyone. I met some of you yesterday once again for dinner and this morning as well. But just to quickly recap, we started yesterday's sessions with the idea of gamification and how we can use this concepts of gamification for the teaching learning processes, including developing our leadership insights. And one of the aspects of gamification being, role play, which we are also utilizing for our purpose to understand how we can overcome different leadership challenges. We've been experiencing, we talked about how the world is now characterized by this VUCA concept, which is volatility, uncertainty, the kind of complex environments we live in and the ambiguous situations we have to deal with. In order to do that, we talked about the necessity for learning, unlearning and relearning, and that could be the way forward. In addition to that, yesterday we started discussing a few relevant questions or situations which you may come across, and those you deliberated with your partners. We got some very good suggestions. Finally, one of the questions in that series was e-governance, and I was just thinking to myself when Professor Kidwai was giving you some suggestions and instructions as to how, for the lack of a particular signature, the file can stop moving from one place to another, and it came to my mind, how e-governance could probably be the way forward, how we can bring more efficiency into the system as the next evolution of our university systems. So with that, yesterday I also made a personal request to all of you that if you have examples on e-governance, since I'll be delivering an online module tomorrow itself, I think day after tomorrow my recording is there for the ARPIT course. If you have some very good examples at your institutions, I request you to share them with me latest by today evening. Anyways, that is not part of your assessment and evaluation, it's just a separate contribution that I'll be happy to report in my online module. With that, you are also aware that as part of your leadership program, there is an assessment and evaluation component, out of which this role play exercise will account for some portion or some percentage of your overall score. And to that effect, each one of you was given the task yesterday to develop and to write down or to describe a challenging situation based on your personal experience or otherwise, right? So with that, I hope many of you have come prepared with your leadership challenge. As I described yesterday, you will be giving your challenge to your partner will be giving their challenge to you, and through a role play exercise, you will be able to display as to when given a situation, how would you react, how would you respond, and how would you deal with that kind of a, challenge, or what would be the way forward, what will be your conflict resolution strategy, what could be your communication strategy, and how would you actually diffuse the situation if necessary, or bring some convergence or some common platform to understand that situation better. So with those aspects in mind, I will be giving a grade, so to say, to convert it into a numerical score, but you all know that this is much more than the grade itself. It's an exercise where we get to learn from each other and assessment is just, integrated part of the entire phenomenon. So with that, I had also given you a brief glimpse of the leadership themes. Let me just recap. By the way, this was the instruction. So enactment with a partner, demonstrate how you would deal with the situation, and we are observing your participation, your interactions and approach to overcome the leadership challenge, right? Maximum 4 minutes per participant. And on your handout, I had encouraged you to think about, when you think about these leadership challenges, to try to align some of those challenges to these leadership themes. If you are able to do it, it's well and good. If not, if it is outside this theme, that's also acceptable. But the reason why I display this to you is, this is part of the overall LEAP curriculum suggested by MHRD, on the basis of which this 3-week program is completely designed. So all the centers who are conducting this program are trying to give you certain experiences and bringing along resource persons who can speak to these various aspects, right? So I hope that some of you have been able to map your challenge to some of these themes, and accordingly, as I promised yesterday, I'm going to give you 30 minutes at least worth of interaction time with your partner, such that you are well prepared, you can practice, you can rehearse, and then one after another we will begin our role play exercise. Any questions you have, any clarification you need, the floor is now open. Yes, please.
30 minutes is too long a time. I think already we are mentally prepared.
Okay, so let me at least, let us see, let me at least give you 10 minutes. If you are, there are some people who may need to, do some last minute preparation. Let me at least give you 10 minutes. Yeah? So make sure you are, rehearsing with your partner any last minute preparations you need to do. And one minute, I'll go.
Can I have one blank page, sir, for this?
Students' problem.
We have to write the
Sir, you are already learning how to You are questioning that desire for the students.
After going through all the evidences and their combinations, and the association of the would self-related one
I got it. Last one problem is complex. Last one
11th hour problem explanation.
which
there is a regional library. He was was the is part of the story. So that's the problem. So you have to give the answer. Answer directly. Okay, now I said what I was going to tell you. Whatever you are going to tell, I am going to counteract to that. Now, I was the I am coming and telling you something. Every faculty is different. Now this is like legal opinion. So if I come and tell you, show how you can see what the directors and if not about the warden, follows the director, the whole situation. Why this case will not be considered? Or you have to justificated or I have to say that why just not considered. So it is not that every time that subject represents what I have to consider I don't see no reason for re-looking at it. You can say that so, as a director, as an administrator, take the case forward, other I will do that. Or you can give as a director saying that let us look at this one. Now what do you want? How is this solved? That's right. So it is the same faculty who is complained. So it's the same department.
Okay, everyone, just a small note. Excuse me. Or let me have your attention for a minute, all participants. Just 1 minute. So, let me just clear one or two doubts that I just came across. I will be collecting your handout today itself. When you come here for your presentation, I will be collecting your handouts. So make sure your challenge is written, the description. For your own records, you may take a photocopy or a snapshot of that challenge, so you will have it for your own records. But I will be collecting those sheets. Plus, I am distributing one more handout to you. Here, please let me have your attention for a minute and then you can continue your discussion. I am going to give you one more handout right now. That handout is just to capture the summary of all the deliberations that will take place. So one after another, we'll have a series of discussions. So whatever salient points that you identify from those conversations, you please note it down as the different leadership insights you are gaining from these discussions. Again, that summary sheet I will be collecting at the end of the session. Even you can keep a photocopy of that by taking a digital photo for your own records. Later on you have to write a reflection sheets. These are some ways where real time you will be able to capture some thoughts and later you will be able to reflect much more in detail about them. So I'm just circulating that one handout where you will be capturing salient points from all the deliberations that will take place except yourselves, because you will be enacting your own thing. Yes, any doubt? Recording in the sense, it is up to you, how you would like to take notes, so to say.
Hello, meeting.
I'll leave it up to you.
The dossier already we have one form.
Yeah.
The assessment form. Can we use this one or no?
No, I'm just giving you a handout. So in real time, when you observe 10 other teams, or 9 other teams, so to say, whatever the important things, whatever the challenge, whatever the solution, whatever, maybe you write it in bullet points, or I'll leave it up to you. How you want to capture those?
What about this one?
Those things anyways you have to complete separately. That's a different thing. But these things when you capture real time will be a feeder into whatever you need to do there. So since these are all interlinked things, step by step we'll make sure we capture all the things on record. As you know, documentation is so important. So this is that summary sheet. You can use it both sides. You can use both sides, or I can give you more copies. There's no shortage.
Especially people coming from English and
both sides. You can use both the reflection. This is a reflection sheet.
What is reflection? Reflection of
when
the
others are
enactment of
presenting,
others.
you can take notes, salient points, summary, some other anything, any concept. So for your own sake, what you are learning from others. Anybody is confused about their team numbers? We know your team numbers 1 to 10. Know your partners.
If they are not able to find the solution, they are not able to get educated.
No, see, the only thing is, we know all such challenges can be dealt with in a very elaborate manner. Just think about it. The entire movie might be for 3 hours, but you are watching a trailer in 4 minutes. That's the kind of thing we are looking at. After 4 minutes, we cut it out. If the electricity goes, you can't see the movie at all. No? It's like that. 4 minutes, time over.
Yeah, some small queries.
Yeah.
So for example, maybe 2 of us we have to play 2 roles.
Yes.
Okay, one as a problem creator, the other as a problem solver.
Yes.
Okay. So we have to do it as a step, or maybe so in sequence, maybe one team will just do, and after some time the other team will go. Or maybe then it will that role switching maybe sometimes it will become very difficult. You are vice chancellor, no, you are going and becoming a student partner.
No, immediately. It's per team. 1A, 1B, 1B, 1A. Quickly.
Sorry, did I go second? Second.
My problem to you. This situation, I will give the solution to your problem.
No, sir.
Different situation.
So the first is you discuss with my problem. And in 2 minutes, I will take
this query, please ask others. The reason why I'm asking you to do that is I also want to see whether others are able to explain it. You are very also confused about this.
So if
And peer learning is a very important thing. If sometimes you don't understand what the teacher is saying, you can learn it from your friends also. Please ask this question to somebody else. Those who are already prepared.
So if already tells you part of the
But
solution.
if there is misconception, then I will step in.
Okay.
That learning, unlearning and relearning.
we will follow that pattern if necessary.
Sir, tell us one thing. Are we supposed to, but the situation would remain the same?
No, sir.
And we different. Let me ask him that. The situation would remain the same and the three different performers in different roles. This is what I could guess from what he said.
Both the partners will have a different problem.
Yeah.
And they will discuss.
So it means you have to play also twice
Yes.
in two different
In two
situations.
different.
Only team.
You are
Like when we are given 4 winners for a single situation, then 3 persons they will perform in that.
you are लेकिन प्रॉब्लम दोनों में अलग अलग हो सकती है।